Well, hello there. I've been contemplating. I talked about the homeless system somewhere, and I said it was the government's fault, basically. Federal, state, city, county. Yeah, well, the people are at fault for not stepping up and stomping down on that socialism and stuff that's the government. That rogue blue and red party has converted the governments in the United States of America under the Constitution into socialist economics. And nowhere has socialism ever been successful. Actually, the socialism is a religious belief that everybody should be equal. The communists adopted that, and if you look at the government they set up over it, which was a party, I forget what they called that, but they had the premier that was the spokesman, and then they had these old fat guys sat around a table, and they all made the decisions for everybody on everything. And you look at Germany, it got in the 40s, 30s, and 40s. It got into socialism, and it adopted fascism as the dictatorial way to make it work for a while. The same thing goes with Italy. Now, you get over to other places. In Japan, you can't really categorize that because they had an emperor. And if anybody bothers to read history, they had a couple of them that big admiral, that Yamamoto, and I don't think the emperor either wanted to go get in a war with the United States for World War II. That was some of them military mucky mucks down there in the army. So see, you got to get paying attention there. That's the thing that's going on in the United States. They've wound up, we got this military complex, industrial complex, whatever they want to call it, with all them highfalutin admirals and generals in the Pentagon, and all under Joe Biden, supposedly, or under the president. Doesn't matter who the president is, because it's other things that run it, because it's that criminal system that's set up, red and blue party, not we the people. They've taken over. But you go through and you pay attention to all this stuff. So that's that homeless problem. If you look, the value of the dollar is nothing. They're talking about over here that BRICS thing with Brazil, Russia, whoever, saying the dollar is out of done for it. And you got our president back there saying, with full authority of that Federal Reserve and them, all that good stuff that red and blue party has taken upon themselves to say we're going to have this central bank coin system of some kind. So they can, if I want to go buy a Pepsi, but they don't want me to buy a Pepsi, they want me to buy a Coke, I'll have to buy a Coke or go without, see? Now, all this good stuff goes on through here. If you look at, I was watching something too. Oh, it was about the disaster of flooding or whatever in Peru. They got all kinds of that down in Brazil. They got it, all kinds of it over, I forget where else. Over on the other side, continent. But anyhow, in Peru, and they were showing pictures. Well, they got them mountains in Peru that go up. And they've carved out flat spots on the mountainside here, and then above it a little ways, and then above it a little ways. And they got little houses built on those flat spots on the side of that mountain. Well, you know, that's really, when I was a kid, there was, there were tar paper shanties. And they were hooked on to towns and cities and different places where there was seasonal work or what all. And the people could live in them. Well, there was even a song when I was in high school, I guess it was back in the 50s or early 60s, about Patches, a girl that lived down on the other side of the tracks, was in a tar paper shanty type place. Okay? This boy couldn't love her because she was no good. She was from them people. Well, you know, I thought that's the problem we got. They have passed laws so that the corporations can rule everything. And I see somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but I know there was a Supreme Court ruling years ago that a corporation had all the rights of a citizen. Well, that's not right. Corporation's a business. Citizen's got more rights. Okay, now they go along, we get in through there. Corporation ain't got those rights, but they can collect all the money. Why? In 1964, when they built the first Impala Chevrolet, and it was a dandy car, it cost $3,400 sticker price on it. Now you can't buy a car that compares with that for $40,000, but it's got all this technology, all this other stuff on. Oh, it's just so wonderful. How many people are sitting on their butts doing nothing but designing and that little things? How many people are working as slaves in factories making all them computer chips and stuff to make all that stuff so they can sell that car for $40,000? And the only thing that car needs to do, the only purpose for it, is to take me from spot A to spot B, take me from spot B to spot C if I want to go, and maybe take me from New York to Los Angeles if I got a vacation. That's all it's supposed to do. Why does it have all this technology in it? Why can't they sell me a car for $3,400? Because too many people are bleeding off. Too many places have put taxes on that. You know, I'm retired, but I earned money, and I paid income tax on my wages. X amount was taken out every week. Okay, I paid those taxes. It went to the government. Come around, and I'd usually come out pretty even, so I didn't get much of a refund. But I'd go down and I'd spend some of that money at the grocery store. And they charged me sale tax. And then I got to looking, you know, that loaf of bread I used to buy for a quarter, for 50 cents when I was young, now costs $4, $5. I see there's a pretty good bread, but it sells for $6 and something in some places. It sells for $5 in other places. But there's no sense in that. But when you think about it, the farmer that grew the grain pays taxes. The company that harvests the grain pays taxes. The trucking company that moves the grain from here to there, or the railroad, pays taxes. This, that, and the other. By the time you get down here and you pay $4 for that loaf of bread in the grocery store, Think about it. Go back and check, read, study, find out. I'm not being accurate, but there's probably $3 worth of taxes on that loaf of bread you're buying. So that loaf of bread is only worth $1, but you're paying $4 for it. You know, people, that's what's causing all this homelessness and all the other economic problems we got. That government back there in Washington is sending all that money to Ukraine and all over the world, putting military bases up all over the place. Our money, because they don't have any money except what they collect in duties and taxes and fees. Think about it. Want to know where the homeless problem comes from? Look around at all them niceties you wanted. You wanted a bicycle path? I didn't want a bicycle path. Why is part of my sales tax going to build that bicycle path? Why don't all of you people want a bicycle path? Put your money together and build that bicycle path. Not me. Think about it. Pay attention. Read. Study. Have a good day and may God bless you all.